Game number one. Another match, ladies and gentlemen, in the winner bracket of the In-House League. The playoffs, day number one. And it's going to be awesome. As mentioned, in the first round in the winner bracket and in the loser bracket, we have best of 3 series. And then as we're progressing towards the winner bracket semifinals, and the next round of the loser bracket, we start with, or we continue with best of 5s and then end up with the best of 7 in total. It's actually going to be pretty cool so far. The matches have been amazing here. The first winner bracket match that we had was a blast, and now we're heading into the next one. Now this is a best of 3 series, as mentioned, and it should be kind of interesting. I mean, Team Nick against Team QuackNiix is going to be quite a bit of fun. So Team Nick was able to lock in the pole position in Group A, so they took first seed, and therefore they go up against Team QuackNiix, who came in second in Group B. Our first map is Cursed Hollow, and Tassadar is banned. Gonna throw that out for the entirety of this tournament. Tassadar is not going to be part of this. The patch came just in the middle of the tournament, and the players all decided that they would play this out without Tassadar. So yeah, that's something to do. And apparently, despite the fact that I actually told them that they need to swap the sides, they didn't actually do that. So I'm gonna adjust that while we're going through the draft here. But Team Nick and Team QuackNiix are of course like reversed. So yeah, normally there is actually a transition to all of that, where according to the bracket you have to take a special position, but players rarely look at brackets, so unless you have an admin in the game, they kind of screw that up, even when told. So yeah, obviously Nick is on Team Nick, QuackNiix is on Team QuackNiix. Duh. So as we're heading into this, the first pick is Reyna, Jimmy is in, and we have again the Rhaegar plus Tyrael setup. And Greymane has actually been preemptively banned here in Cursed Hollow from Team Nick. So with Rhaegar's Bloodlust now being the preferred ult actually on the hero, Tyrael compositions with the Sanctification and a strong auto attack have become way more popular right now. So it's actually pretty crazy, especially when you have Greymane, which is one of the reasons why Greymane gets banned out here. We've even seen targeted bans against Rhaegar for exactly that reason. Stukov makes it in though, as our support now. And that's actually kind of cool, kind of interesting, because especially the silence, the lurking arm, can interrupt a lot. If you interrupt that Sanctification, for example, or just zone Tyrael out, you'll find yourself in a really good spot in the team fight, and you want to have a little bit of boss control over here too. Now the interesting thing between those two teams is also that QuackNiix and his boys have done, in the group stage, I would say, better whenever they could look at macro play. Shot calling from Quack, as you would expect, is quite solid still, obviously, and they relied heavily on that. Now Zarya, the ban, we see her taking a bit of a backseat a little bit more in the just recent games, but generally speaking in Europe she is still a big priority ever since the playoffs in Division S. But right now with this entire Tyrael, Rhaegar, Bloodlust, Greymane setup, Zarya is taking a bit of a step back in a lot of those builds. Can still be played, and one of the reasons why Zarya gets banned out over here and didn't in one of the previous series, for example, is the combo with Garrosh on the other side, where you can do a whole lot there by just getting the speed bubble on him after level 4, let him run in, go the flip, and then eliminate the target. Bit of burst damage behind it would of course be neat too. So Deathwing is in, Swamgrota picks it up, has, by the way, no access to Junkrat. It's one of the reasons why the hero gets banned, because they're pretty powerful around that. Tychus is in. Yeah, getting the damage in against Deathwing. The bigger they are, doing wonders there. And Leo. Okay, good setup for them. A lot of things that they can force. They have the wave clear, they have Stukov. Kelvin is going to be quite important in this setup, so the support plays is something that we can look forward to here. And we're heading into Cursed Hollow, and now that we just wait for Abla. Dehaka, global, double global actually. Yeah, typical QuackNiix team right there. So with that, we're heading in, and yeah, let's have a bit of a look. There's quite a bit of prize money on the line, of course. I think by now we are roughly at $2,700 for the players. Community chipping in quite a bit too. And yeah, off we go. Let's jump in. Game number 1, Cursed Hollow, Team QuackNiix against Team Nick. Game on! First game in the best of 3, Swamgrota on Deathwing, Yasuo on Rhaegar, Skog on Tyrael, Abla on Dehaka, and QuackNiix on Sylvanas. On the right side, here in Cursed Hollow, we have Team Nick with Nick himself on Tychus, Dequaza on Leoric, Shirionto on Jimmy, Wit on Garrosh, and Stukov is played by Kelvin. On level 1, in this case, actually the dash, trying to get the movement speed in. I mean, it helps you, of course, to follow up with the minigun, but also to get out of harm's way if you have problems there. And yeah, level 1, Molten Blood over here for Deathwing. it should be actually a fun one. Also, we have again the unrivaled strength over here for Garrosh. Bit of a move towards the top, and this is just typical QuackNiix play right here. The early aggression against the structures. And obviously, since if this is the first game that you actually watch in new patch in 50.0, then the mechanics around the towers and also forts and keeps have significantly changed. So by now, you can't just simply push with the minion wave anymore and attack heroes that are sitting underneath a tower or a fort with those heroes ignoring you completely, and instead focusing and prioritizing the minion wave. The aggro is shifting now towards the attackers whenever a hero gets attacked. And the slow has been removed from the forts and the keeps, but instead you now have armor reduction. Every single shot of a tower reduces the armor against the hero by 5, every single fort and keep by 10, up to a maximum of -40, which is actually a lot. So teams have to play a little bit more cautious, a little more slow, just hanging back a little bit more when they make these attempts. So it's much harder to dive underneath a fort, towers, or a keep. So you have to be careful with this. Which, generally speaking, leads to games being a little bit longer. Nothing crazy, but I would say that in a few weeks, when we have more data coming in, we'll find out that the average game length has probably been increased by like 1 to 3 minutes. So it depends a bit, of course, on what level of play we're looking at. But the players play around that quite a lot right now. There's also now core mechanics that are starting to become a little bit of a factor. We've already have explored those in on previous maps. But when we're talking about Cursed Hollow, the mechanic that exists here, once that you attack the core, is that every 3 seconds, the core will actually spawn a curse under an enemy hero. So if you're cursed, then your armor is reduced by 75 for 4 seconds, which is actually pretty insane. So you kind of need to dodge a lot of this. Like, a lot of the abilities on the core are easily dodged, but if you get, for example, stunned into one of those, then you are in trouble. I mean, let's just think about that. Armor reduction by 75 for 4 seconds is bonkers. So you really need to move around that. And cooldown of 3 seconds on this is pretty low. It's kind of fun, it's a little bit new, it's of course something to still explore, and some might have to be adjusted, but I will see. By the way, since some people still do this wrong, and I see this consistently in the lower leagues in particular, there is one talent on Tychus on level 4, and it's the bigger they are. Unless we're talking about quick match or brawl, where you can pretty much do whatever you want. But if you are actually looking to get the best talent, the most efficient one, then the bigger they are is the weapon of choice, especially when you go up against high hit point heroes like Deathwing, for example. You try to burn them out at the beginning as quickly as you can, reduce the hit point pool, as you can tell right here. And then, at that point, the rest of the team starts to help you out and finish the target off. So that's what we are about to see there. Follow up, you know, with the rest of your damage output, and Bob's your uncle. So as we're starting to jump in, let's have a little bit of a look over here. Yeah, they are going for the first objective. Everybody is moving around this. Tychus is actually locked in at the top. Deathwing could make a play, but Tychus is currently in this 1 versus 1, completely isolated. And down here, different setup. Yeah, both of the teams with a pretty hefty front line. I mean, the blue team more so than the red team, but of course they also want the additional abilities of the Haka to control the map a little bit better. Yeah, down here, nice. Shirionto with good penetrating rounds, keeping the opponent at arm's length. And they're actually zoning them out quite nicely. I like that. The level 7 talent for both teams give us also the swift retribution, which is going to be really important for the auto attacks. Also, the unstable compound is in. And Deathwing is starting to make the play. Soon TM, they're going to be 5 down here. And yep, here we go. Landing. And they can get... Oh, nice. Good drag. Really good drag. And that's a kill. Garrosh is down and they... Oh my god, they get the double kill, don't they? Oh, you see? Tower action right here. In any other scenario, they would have still gone for him. But with the additional armor reduction, this is quite dangerous. So Rhaegar was in trouble. They couldn't go for the Jimmy kill after all. And it's kind of cool to see Deathwing jumping down and the second global jumping towards the top. So that allows you to still soak the top lane experience, despite the fact that you just rotated hero from the top lane towards the fight. And it was a fantastic setup. A typical QuackNiix call right here. They have a double global. They rotate one global in and another global after the fight out onto the top. They don't lose experience. They get the extra kill since the drag connected. That was incredibly sexy play. So, really well done. But of course, it's a small lead. I mean, again, you don't win the game off this, but it adds up as the game continues. They have a slight lead for now, You also have the first objective locked in, or at least the first tribute. And now they can try and make the play for the second one. And we have a similar situation. Deathwing is already taking to the skies down here. Dehaka, if ever needed, could move down to the bottom of the map. Currently there's no other hero, so that's why he leaves the lane early, because there's nothing that he has to hold on to. A little bit of damage against Rayquaza, but they need to stay away from the towers, as you could tell. Top lane, Abla, and nope, not happening. The channel, on the other hand, oh, not even close. Clutch interrupt. Clutch interrupt right here. And the triple channel. Triple channel to make sure that Deathwing can't be a nuisance. As usual these days, we have the Bloodlust in. The attack already. Bloodlust. They're trying to chase him down with the slappity slap as Stukov comes in. Get the hell away from my tank, but instead it's Jimmy who falls as the Tong connects, and that's a kill. 10 versus 10. Odin already gets commandeered. Big Entomb. Oh, but the Sanctification and Wit is down as well. 3 kills against 1. Team QuackNiix, ladies and gentlemen. Damn, son. What a play again by the boys here. I gotta say, they are coming in with a lot of aggression, good plays, good coordination too. I like it. And I mentioned this during the group stage, but in case that you tune in a little bit later here, the teams have actually scrimmed. Now, if you don't really know what the in-house league is and you're asking yourself like, hey, I've never seen these teams before, it's easily explained. The top players in Heroes of the Storm have decided that Blizzard's matchmaking is shit, was always shit, and will always be shit. So instead, they have now their own matchmaking that they use, and they have an in-house setup where they play in-house matches. And they decided that while the random in-house matches are pretty fun, they want to also make a little bit of a tournament. So that's exactly what we're seeing now. 6 captains were voted on, and those 6 captains then drew the players, so picked players. And those are the teams that will stick together for the duration of this tournament. Community chipped in for a little bit of prize money, since Blizzard can't, of course, be asked to support esports in any way these days. So the community stepped up, and that's why we have a prize pool of $2,700, $3,000, something along those lines. So the team's actually scrimming for this and playing it out. Big throw here, by the way. Nicely done. But Hero gets out. Boss, of course, snuck away. Another great call. I mean, really, perfect timing here. Really well done by them. And all of a sudden, they're all moving through the bottom of the map in the double connect. And it's done too. That's the moment where you think, please nobody see that. But yeah, we did. They didn't die though. So there's that. Alright, so 2 tributes against 1. And top lane gets still pressured. I could actually take at least the gate down. So over here, there's the attack coming in already. Deathwing trying to get ready. We have the level 10 abilities on both sides. No 13 yet. Half level missing. 14 QuackNiix as they're trying to make it. And in we go. Terror! Benjamin Deathwing. Yeah, Swamgota going for the Terror moment right over here with the Molten Flame. Still, they have the globals up, a little bit of extra soak at the bottom. In an ideal world, the blue team would hope to get level 13 with this to have the advantage heading into the fight. They can't easily let it go because this would be a curse, but it seems like they're actually willing to sacrifice it and instead use the globals to zone out. That Deathwing goes for the interrupt. Okay, Deathwing for the interrupt. Do they still try and get something here? Shirionto, there's the interrupt in. They're trying to fight. No level 13 yet. It's so close. It's so unbelievably close. And in we go. Bam! There's the quick setup against Deathwing. And Swamgota with a 2-room moment again. Moving over for the kill. Sanctification! And it's again push time. Bloodlust, baby! And the red team is completely on the run. But they're getting zoned out. Oh, Tyrael! Not even 100 hit points for him. 13 is still not there. Any moment now. The fight's still ongoing. 3 kills against 1. But is there going to be a curse? Yes or no? Yeah, off we go with the flip. Yasu, oh, the tongue. Stukov is in trouble. Stukov survives with 40. But Garrosh is down and the red team is abandoning the position. Unbelievable. Yeah, they're zoning them out again. Shirionto is also going to die. 5 kills against 1 right now. Another thing that we actually have to point out now that we're looking at this is Rhaegar's build, because Rhaegar's build has changed slightly now that he picks Bloodlust over Ancestral. So you will see this a lot more often. Tidal Waves on level 13 instead of the shield, simply because you like shield bought you always those few extra moments where you could get the Ancestral healing channel through and save the target. So you would drop out the shield first and then Ancestral. Right now you don't need that anymore, so you can still play it, but Tidal Waves is becoming a strong alternative since it will increase your healing output there too. Boss is taken as QuackNiix's boys move straight to the top, so usual crisp rotations from QuackNiix's team. Top lane has to be defended against. Level lead by now as well. And let's take a quick look over to their damage. 36,000 for Tychus. The extra damage through the bigger they are on level 4 against Deathwing, of course, helps a lot with that. We also have on 30 now the Virulent Reaction in for Stukov, so he has a lot more lockdown that he can contribute in every single fight over here. Everybody's still moving topside. Okay, Skog. Yeah, there's the sanctification. Off we go. Okay, they're starting to race to the finish line again. Trying to make the play over here. Quasar, and Leo is down. Wit gets attacked too, and he falls. That's 7 kills against 1. I mean, Team QuackNiix is savage today. I mean, absolutely savage. They're brutal. They're wrecking them. Right now, it's like kill after kill after kill that they bring in. They dominate on the objective. They only lost the Haka once in this game. They have the globals that they can use. Fort at the bottom of the map is already about to fall thanks to all of this. Top lane, the Haka has moved in, as he should, by the way. They need to get the experience. So they have the XP over here. They take the structure advantage easily without any problems whatsoever. And they are half level away from level 16. What a fantastic start into the series for Team QuackNiix. Team Nick working on the comeback. But this is going to be an uphill battle from here on out. They need a teamfight victory. And they were close. I mean, multiple times they were incredibly close. But, of course, even with the new mechanics, those forts and towers don't shoot anything out right now. Yeah, bot lane and top lane are currently still assailed. Level 7 any second. Oh my god, no. Wait. Oh, and he gets out. He gets out. But, boys, we still have 12 seconds left. That's a fantastic entomb, though. And there's no sanctification. After they got that much damage against Wit, I really thought that they have this keep for sure. I mean, I guess Deathwing can at some point sneak it. But I thought this one would fall right away. So it might come out to Deathwing. But without vision, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So, let's see. Let's see what we're going to get here. I mean, for now, 16 against 15.5. So Team Nick has started to recover slightly when it comes to XP. But you already guessed it. Talent advantage, what do we do? Let's go and take a boss. Sanctification, Bloodlust, all the control spells are ready. We have a talent advantage, let's go for it. Yeah, vision over here is taken, so they know exactly where the opponent is positioned. And they should be able to take this one without any problem. Also, we got the burn beneath my shadow over here. I shouldn't be too afraid. They could have rotated in, but they had the vision. The Haka has taken another camp at the top, and that's another boss now in the hands of Team QuackNiix. Okay, let's go. Bosses are taken. Everybody is starting to move down to the bottom of the map. Mid lane, still important. I mean, again, this is ridiculous. If they get close enough with any hero, they're gonna be able to take it. Bottom of the map, different story. The Haka trying to at least burn the wave down. Rest of the camp over here is gonna be eliminated easily. Top side, by the way, yep, that's gonna burn this wave down without any problem. So top side is pushing out too. Over here, on the other hand, that's where the fight really starts. Odin already used, and they're starting to get the damage in. Sylvanas, as usual, with the push power here, is already disabling the structures, which is heavily important with the new mechanics. Gives you a lot more wiggle room for the attack. Because, again, those new aggro mechanics can be really dangerous when you're trying to push in and attack someone, take a hero down here. It's not as easy as previously. So this one is actually defeated. Yeah. And again, this one would have fallen. I mean, they're probably going to take it now. No, still not. Yeah, but I mean, look at it. This one would have fallen. In the old patch, this one would have fallen for sure. In the new patch, they really respect that keep damage and how much the armor reduction can cost you if the opponent is defending. So you have to be incredibly careful around it. But that leads to those two keeps still standing. Now, you can, of course, always make the argument, well, they should have still taken it and blah, blah. but it just shows that they're not willing to be as aggressive anymore under a keep or a fort as they previously were before that patch hit. Yeah, there's an early bloodlust again. The taunt is in too, but with slappity slap. Their problem is that Sylvanas jumps in and is going to secure the kill, isn't she? Yeah, she gets it easily, and now they're following it up. But Yasuo's already getting attacked. Yasuo was already at really low HP because of the keep, and then we saw just barely Sylvanas coming in and disabling it. They get the keep. They might even move into the middle now and take the mid keep too. And Tomb has not done anything, but with 4 heroes on the defense, they don't want to do that just yet. And bosses are back up. You have another boss up over here, so there's that. So that's already good. There's still the attack coming in. They're trying to go for the next target. Jimmy! No! Jimmy! 9 kills against 1. Yeah, brutal, savage, wrecked. As Team Nick is falling farther and farther behind. I mean, at this point, the only thing that can really turn the game is a team wipe. They need to get a team wipe going at some point, but staggered deaths don't help with that at all. What a fantastic move here from Team QuackNiix. They really stepped it up from the group phase. Not that they had a bad group phase or anything, they didn't. They definitely didn't. But against Team Macke, you could still see them struggle a little bit. Nothing in this first game that even reminds us, even remotely of that. This is, by the way, still a good map for them. I mean, this is a big map. They like the macro maps. This is a fantastic map for QuackNiix as a shot caller. There's a lot to do here. Calls around tributes, calls around bosses. So you can do a lot with this, especially if you're running a double global and you run Sylvanas to disable structures. So this is right down his wheelhouse. Bot lane attacks. Tribute, by the way, claimed by Dehaka, who's now coming back into the fight over here. Sylvanas already doing her thing and handling these battles. Yeah, careful. Good jump out. Okay, don't have buried life in. Oh, that's a big flip. But the wall is open with Bloodlust. And they go for Stukov. And he gets saved again with save Stukov, but he gets demolished in the process. Yeah, there's the attack. Look how fast Skog falls here. Minus 30 armor, and those hits keep coming. He lost half his HP to that. It's huge. It's really huge. The new aggro plays are big, but it doesn't change the fact that Quack and his team are absolutely dominating right now. They have the level 20, of course, but they don't make the play for the core. Yeah, again, 20 advantage, 5 versus 4, still no core play. Play it safe. Be careful. And that is what will cause that average game length to rise, as I mentioned earlier. Alright. Cam taken. And down to the bottom of the map, now you have to defend. I mean, every single keep is down. This is pretty much a checkmate position. This is literally, I mean, you can't, it would take an incredible effort for Team Nick to win this one now. The core is down to 91% at this point, thanks to the boss, and this is gonna give them a curse. So, yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. Nick and his boys, what do they have to do? They're actually accepting the curse. And honestly, the curse doesn't really matter at this point anymore. Because the lanes are already pushing against them. They are already on the defensive. This, on the other hand, matters a lot. This boss taken, and it's lights out. The curse matters to the extent that lanes get pushed back against them faster. But with the double global, that was always bound to happen. So they need to take it. It looks silly, but they have to take this one. They can't let it open. Even with the Haka pushing, they need to take the boss, because if it's taken... I mean, again, it's more or less a checkmate situation that we're talking about here. They can't let the boss slide. They can't defend. They can't be at 2 places at once, and the core is already falling. There are no good answers anymore. With all the keeps gone, there are no good solutions. This is 40%. Rhaegar goes down, but who cares? That's only the 2nd kill for them. And this is going to be the end of it, ladies and gentlemen. GG, as Team QuackNiix locks in a solid victory against Team Nick in game number 1. Game number 2, solid performance in game number 1 from Team QuackNiix. A really solid setup that they pulled off there. And a very impressive and dominant display. But the question, of course, is that really something that we're going to see on Infernal Shrines again, or is Team Nick actually now coming in and just saying like, alright guys, this is not how we're going to go down. Keep in mind that Nick and his team actually came in first in their group. So they did a fantastic job against the other teams that they had to play against. And now they have a chance to come back into this. I mean, this is a best of 3 series, so there's always that happening, but we'll see how it works out. Rhaegar gets banned. You can really see how his priorities start shifting more and more towards the top and early ban, just because he is so powerful with that Ancestral and with how much is actually being done for. Right. So, let's see. Okay, then we have Sylvanas banned out. Again, another hero that is a little bit buffed now through this, because if towers, if forts, and keeps are so strong now, a hero who can disable him gets a little bit of a ninja buff through that. If you really end up in a scenario where games last longer, 2-3 minutes more, and you reliably end up on level 20, we could see Nazeebo come back in again. Not as a top pick, not as a first pick or anything, but there might be a couple of strategies with Nazeebo again where you see him with an attempt to complete the Vial Infection towards level 20. Maybe other heroes that really scale well into the late game could make appearances too. Suljin, for example. I don't expect any of these heroes to be like a first pick or anything, but depending on the map and depending on the development now with the new changes, those are heroes that we might see again. Now, Deathwing gets banned out this time, so a lot of the heroes that we've seen in the last one have already been eliminated. Kelvin picks Anna right away. And off we have Greymane and ETC. Yeah, Greymane was previously banned, and that was mostly because of like this entire Sanctification, Bloodlust setup, but now he's through. We could still see Sanctification, so Team Nick has actually had an opportunity now to pick Tyrael if they want him here. He's a great hero on this map regardless, but you also have Jojo, which gives you more wave clear, which is fantastic if you're trying to secure the objective for yourself. So that's another one that you can get. And you have also the blind, of course, against Greymane. So, yep, Jojo is in. We see Li Ming with Anna. Again, interesting, because Li Ming is not a hero that you see here a lot. Li Ming has the problem that during fights on the shrine, she has trouble to get damage through outside of her using Calamity when she just commits to the fight itself. But when you just like try to poke from the outside and you're just like shelling away with your missiles and also with your orb, it's sometimes a bit more difficult to really get the value, because a lot of those minions can block the damage that you're trying to target on a hero. Doesn't make her useless here, just means you have to adapt a little bit, play a bit different, target a little bit different than you would in other team fights. But it's one of the reasons why most of the time when we're looking at mages on this map, we see Jaina, we see Gul'dan, occasionally even Kel'Thas. Li Ming still can be played, and Shirionto is actually quite solid, honestly. Li Ming, one of his best heroes, so that's something that he will play around now. I mean, that's a conscious decision that they make, but generally speaking, it's something to be aware of. Okay, Jaina gets banned out. That's another hero that offers the wave clear. In addition to that, ETC with a power slide or a mosh pit could also give you opportunities to get the damage in. We don't see a lot of ring these days, but we still see it occasional. It's just that the level 20 water elemental is insane, so even on 10 it's quite good. That's something that we actually see. Carrigan gets banned against Nick, as so often. Again, Nick's Carrigan is crazy. And here comes the Sonya pick. Now, we have seen Sonya banned out multiple times against other teams, especially, of course, against Sven himself. But, yeah. Remember the first series in the winner bracket? Medivh getting banned a couple of times? Not in this one. Swamgrotta locks him in, and all of a sudden we have someone that can empower Greymane and Sonya even more. The only thing that we're still missing is the actual support for Team QuackNiix. And, yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Quack, of course, on Greymane now, too. And here comes the front line. Rexa and Malthael. Nano-boosted Malthael, also a thing. Not only Li Ming, but a nano-boosted Malthael with Tormented Souls is actually terrifying. If you don't have a lot of stuns to work with, he can destroy your entire team. So that is not something to ignore. Nano-boosted Malthaels are pretty terrifying. Yasuo on Lucio. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2. Can Team Nick bring it back? Are we going to see a third game, a final map in this best of 3? Or will we instead see Team QuackNiix walk away with an easy 2 victory? Let's find out together on Infernal Shrines. Game number 2. Team QuackNiix in the lead against Team Nick. And over to the left side of the map, Swamgrotta on Medivh. We have Yasuo and Lucio. Greymane played by QuackNiix, Skog on ETC, and Abla on Sonya. A very mobile setup that can actually be used again to put Greymane onto structures. There's a lot of potential macro calls again for QuackNiix here, with a portal, with Lose Your Speed, ETC creating space for them on the retreat, so there's a lot that they can do with this. On the right side, Team Nick with their Quasar on Rexa, Nick on Malthael, Wit on Johanna, Shirionto on Liming, and Kelvin is playing Ana. Okay, so let's have a look and see how this is going to pan out for them. For now, we have as our talents Fear the Reaper on level 1. Obviously, we need to pay a little bit attention to the baseline quest for Medivh as well. That's going to be an important one. Arcane Rift, yes or no? Is it going to be reset or not? That's the question. Yeah, Misha is in again. Rexa, one of the best offlaners that he can get these days. I mean, he is the king of Dragonshire for a reason. Even though we haven't seen Dragonshire yet in this tournament. Actually, we've seen it in the group stage, just not in the playoff bracket. But Infernal Shrines is going to be quite interesting. And again, the core mechanic, I went over it in the group stage matches and also in the first one. But over here, you have these frost circles around the core that spawn. It's a 12-second cooldown, actually. But it can be really, really difficult and dangerous to go for the core here. Yeah, Yasuo also has to be careful that he doesn't go too far into tower range, because again, the shots stack the armor reduction on you. On the tower it's -5, and on fort and keep it's -10. Stacks up to 40. And -40 armor is a lot. Yep, a lot. Okay, so top side, that's where we currently have our little setup with Sonya, and you can already tell that she doesn't really want to fight this out too much. The teams have both taken their camps on the bottom left and bottom right, but there is still the bot lane camp to be had. Nobody's making a big move for it yet, and as I said, Wit is starting to move in. Wit, by the way, adjusting to what the opponent is running here and went into reinforce. In the meantime, we have seen Malthael fall in the middle, and actually, the fight isn't quite over yet. Seems like Misha was trying to fight it out a little bit more, and on horses Quack too, but Yasuo pushes them out. They rotate down with the help of the portal, and steal their camp away. Sneaky thieves right there. Yeah, QuackNiix already thieving over here. I gotta admit, I am impressed. I mean, they really improved from the group stage to this. So they stepped it up even more than before. And it's kind of bonkers. I mean, they're doing really well against Nick's team, which I don't want to say dominated Group A, but I mean, they did fantastic job in Group A. So this is double elimination. I said it before, but just if there's any confusion about it, if you lose here, you're not out of the tournament yet. The winning team moves on to the winner bracket semifinal, where they will then also play a best of 5. And the losing team actually makes it down into the losers bracket and is gonna play it out right there. By the way, I'm a little bit high. Sorry, this is the winner bracket semifinal. My bad. You move on to the winner bracket final. Sorry for that. Obviously, with only 4 teams in the upper bracket, the next one is the winner bracket final already. So technically, this is the winner bracket semifinal. It's round 1, and yeah. For everybody watching on YouTube, I say it again, I'll try to remember to actually add the link to the tournament grid into the YouTube description. Usually I forget this stuff, but I hope that this time I'll remember it. Just keep in mind, by the time that you check this out, there will be spoilers there, so use it with caution. If you don't want to know how the tournament ends, you should probably just wait for a few matches before you do that. Wit at the top, can't wait anymore. He needs to get out as quickly as he can, and he's actually getting away. Nicely done. Okay, so he gets out. Yasuo, on the other hand, he is not fast enough. Lucio might speed around a bit, but he is not quick enough to escape that situation. And we still have the early level 7 talent for the blue team, but they can't really do anything about that. Right. Let's go. QuackNiix is sitting right there, trying to do his thing. And off we go. Top side, that's where we still have the Punisher taken. Punisher time! Ho ho ho, let's go! Jump and Mortar Punisher. Baited over, and easy defense now. Yeah, this one shouldn't really be too big of a problem. Again, pushing in here is now more difficult, but being on the aggressive stance, they're trying to rush out of the gate with the help of the portal, but Skog doesn't get the stun in because of the Iron Skin, but they can go for the easy defense now. Oh my god, it would be glorious if Svangwada dies to the Punisher and loses his 14 stacks. That would be funny as hell. Not happening here, but yeah. Alright, so level 10 abilities are next on the menu. We have the camps taken again. A kill for a kill thus far. First objective went over to Team Nick. So at least they got that little bit of momentum going for themselves. And with the level 10 abilities, the dynamic here should change slightly. Okay, so bot lane, off we go. Bam, let's go. Another camp, and already the blue team is starting to sneak in again. They stole it away earlier. Can they do it again? That's the question. Teams are actually fighting a lot for dominance on the map right now, trying to gain control so they can make the plays. I'm still waiting for decisions on QuackNiix's side to rotate with the help of Lucio, ETC, and Medivh to get damage in against structures, to try and jump in and take a few of these towers down, or maybe a fort later, and I'm pretty sure that eventually we're going to see that. Sonya gets actually chased a bit. Abla loses some HP. I mean, again, it's not too bad, but you can tell that Nick is still playing aggressive here. Sitting on his glorious money pick as he rides into the battle like a boss. Okay, nearly level 10 now. And already the touch of death right there. Yeah, and let's go, boys. Yeah, it's awesome. When you have Greymane in your setup, it's just great because you have so much damage in Worgen form against camps. You can easily take them. But this time they didn't take the one at the bottom. It got stolen away. And here is, as announced, Tormented Souls. Told you. With a nano boost, Tormented Soul Malthael is insane. You need to lock him down and just get the hell out of there. It's one of those things where the aspect of death is finally becoming pretty deadly. A lot of Malthaels actually misunderstand that title, and they think that aspect of death means that you're dying a lot, and you're dead a lot of times. But if you have that hero in the hands of Nick, that can be a different story. I mean, that's the man who brought Kerrigan back into the meta by just obliterating teams. Which is the reason why she got actually banned out over here. Others have now followed, but yeah, he brought her back to business. Leyline, Moshpit, both in. Also ETC is actually nearly done with this level 1. So ETC just needs a few more. Another 2 globes, and he is good to go. And should actually be able to get that done before the objective spawns. I mean, if he comes up to the lane... Yeah, okay. Doesn't grab this one. Anchors here. But yeah, needs another 2, and then he is good. There's the slide. Don't get that. Should get the globe now. Yes, 1 is missing. And that should be an easy one for them now. Okay, level 10 abilities, of course. That gives us also the bullet. Curse bullets, but now in as well. It's a little bit of a trap over here. Chinese bush meta at its finest. Yeah, I know. Waiting for the rotation, but there's nobody to rotate anymore. Yeah, already in the middle. So, here we go. Yeah, that's the quest completion as well. Just in time. Just in time for the fight. Alright, level 11 versus level 11. Let's go. Top side. Sonya needs to rotate in once she deals with the camp. They haven't taken their shaman camp. They were hoping for the kill at the bottom of the map, which they didn't get. Yeah, portal time. And immediately they attempt to go for Ana. Ana! Oh, and there it is. Malthael. Yeah, fear the Reaper, baby. Here we go. Malthael with the nano boost is ripping them apart. 5-man team wipe. Team QuackNiix getting their ass kicked in this fight. Aggressive play from them towards Ana, and Ana is able to get the nano. I have, by the way, no idea how the hell she even survived. But even just getting the nano boost out was big. But she also survived this entire setup. But boy, did they get destroyed. Holy hell. Yeah, and our assassins over on the red team side are already sitting there. It's like, boys, you might be able to do that in one map if you're playing the macro game, but you can't beat us in a straight-up team fight. That's just not happening today. So, yeah, big one. This was insane. I mean, Malthael again got the nano boost and killed them with the Tormented Souls. Then again, talking about killing, the Quasar up at the top. Yeah, there we go. The man with the mask. It's, by the way, the wrong form of face mask, my friend. The mask goes over your mouth, not the eyes. Jesus, that is not a medical mask over there. That doesn't protect you from anything. So, 6 against 2. And off we go. Camps taken all over the place. They took the fort in the middle. And they're about to take the fort at the bottom. Well, maybe not. Rotation towards them. They still have only 4 heroes on the map. The opponent has 5. Even with level 13 talent as an advantage over your opponent, you don't want to risk that. So they're just jumping back for now. And in we go. 6 against 2 kills. And I'm coming back to my initial point. Nano boosted Malthael. Make sure that you lock him down somehow. You have a power slide, you have a mosh pit, you have Lucio in an attempt to boop it back. It's not going to help a lot. Can kill him if you target him quickly enough. And you also have, of course, a ley line. But he has the top damage on the team for a reason. More than Li Ming. And of course, as soon as you see a couple of heroes die and Malthael is really able to bring them down, then Li Ming is just going to play whack-a-mole with the opponent's team. It's just like calamitying all over the place. One reset after another. Pretty easy peasy. Okay, so let's have at it. Top lane. Take that fountain down. Slow process. There's the ley line. They try to go for the fight. Mosh pit, baby. Insta interrupt. The bullet is out. They try to get the kill. Wit. Wit is at his end of his wits at this point. He had nothing. Nothing left. And down here, Nano boosted Malthael. There's the stun. That's exactly what I said earlier. Stun him. Stun him. Focus him. Stun him. Just make sure that he can't rip your backline apart. Team QuackNiix not rolling over to die in game number 2. No, 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 no. They're looking for the comeback. They might have lost 2 of their forts, but they're fighting back as much as they can. 4 kills against 6, still a level behind, but a bit of momentum in their hands now. Nicely done here. Me likey. Yeah, it's a good series. I mean, every single game that we have, or every match that we had in this tournament, was pretty enjoyable thus far. I gotta say, it's kind of cool to have this tournament. It's just really neat to have, like, the teams also play with different lineups here for once. I mean, it's not a completely random thing. They have scrimmed with it, but it just shakes things up slightly. And it's pretty cool, especially since when you go in, you don't really know which team is the favorite here, which team is actually the one. Oh, the blessed shieldless. I mean, totally cool to throw the ult out here. It's got to be back in time, but that's still unfortunate. It would have been a fantastic kill for them. By the way, one of the big kills in the last fight was, of course, Medivh. I mean, he got reset on his baseline, so he's now back up to 17. So Swampgrota is getting some serious value on it. But now the third fort is eliminated, so all 3 of them are down. Top lane, that's where the Shaman camp is taken. But let's not forget that there are still fountains up for the red team where they can simply pre-tap before heading into the fight. And the top lane is one of them. So, bit of a nuisance. Or at least it will be. And off we go. 16 versus 16 right now. That's a nice thing. That's a good thing for Team QuackNiix. They have at least the 16 versus 16. So that's great. And with that, we have, for example, right over here, the showstopper. It's going to be about Knives of Steel. Huge for them. Huge. Talent completed for Rexa. That's important. Fairly important, actually. And off we go. Get the fight out over here. They're actually abandoning it. They're trying to go for Jojo. The bullet is out, and that should be a kill. The portal, and she escapes. Had to use the Blessed Shield to get away from it. But, yep, nicely done. Blessed Shield out. Well played. Yeah, really good job, actually. Okay, top lane is still pushing. Yeah, not too much. Okay, that is dangerous. They gave up on the objective already a while ago. They were hoping to get the kill in the middle, and they didn't get that. But someone has to deal with that. And Greyman is making his way over, but he's a little bit late to the party. That one has nearly fallen, and that's going to make it much easier for top push now. And do they have the Blessed Shield? Nah, they don't. Honestly, if they had Blessed Shield here, this could have very quickly ended with Quack dying. And that the game, maybe not ending, but taking a turn for the worst within seconds. There's camps set up at both lanes right now. Mid and bottom. And again, keep in mind, you don't want to play too aggressive around this. Look at this. 2 shots, minus 20 armor right there. You can't play that aggressive around a keep anymore because of the new aggro mechanic. That's why they are trailing behind this much. Normally that wouldn't be the case. But they have to be really careful. Now they can move in. Now that it's disabled, they can actually go in. But this is a much easier defense now than it was previously. So they still push aggressively with it, but this is not as easy of a kill as it was before the patch. So you can really tell that they have a lot of respect for the new keep mechanics. They did serious damage with it, but they have to retreat here. 14 minutes in. Very, very good example of that new setup. Okay, over here on the other hand, Chirionto. He might actually die. Trying to tap, but Yasuo locks him down. The nano-boosted Rexa. Yeah, I don't know about that. So, Li Ming and Ana both down. I think someone fat-fingered the key a little bit. No, but feigning his death again. Dude, nobody believes you. Nobody ever believed you. Oh, he's dead. I think I'm gonna walk away. feigning death. The worst actor in the Nexus has done it again. 7 against 6 kills. Team QuackNiix with a push. Yeah, and they have everything moving in right now. They have what they need. There's the Greymane push. Greymane is in. Quest not completed on the baseline for Medivh, but they get this one. Alright, and they have the mobility. I mean, again, they are quick enough with this. Portal in, portal out. First keep down. 7 kills against 6. 19 versus 19. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, so 26,000 for Malthael. Still the top damage for the team, thanks to the nano boosts. 30,000 on the other side. And again, camping them. And of course, Medivh is cheating as usual. Just like sitting there. And it's just saying like, ah, vision. By the way, every single time I see Medivh going up against a Hanzo, I think like, what? How shitty of an archer do you have to be that you can't even take the Raven down in this guy? I mean, seriously. Can't even hit that. No wonder that he's missing so many old arrows. It's really a problem. Can't even hit a single bird. 20 is in. Okay. Nano infusion. And no one can stop death. Plus, indestructible. Yeah, well, it seems like Johanna at least can stop it. At least initially. Yeah, Medivh actually going into Medivh cheats. Again, we knew that already. That didn't have to tell us that. So, some of those talent names are always like, duh, Blizzard, really? You don't say. There's the summer anthem. I think I know the summer anthem of this year. It's a pretty easy one, actually. Corona, 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 Corona. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I think that's the summer anthem of 2020. Might be wrong, though, but, well, 7 kills against 6. Okay, it's getting spicy. Yeah, the camp taken at the bottom of the map is actually pretty important because it will stall the catapult pressure out. And that's really, really important for them. But this fight, that's a different story. This fight can decide very easily now who wins and loses this game. And this series, by the way. I mean, still, we have a lead, obviously. Team QuackNiix is ahead with a 1-0. Let's not forget about that. Off we go. There comes the hit. And... Misha? No, Misha survives, at least for a little bit. Okay. Now we have it. Good attack. Li Ming with the poke attempt. No calamity yet. Oh, here comes the Boars. Medivh is cheating. Alright, here comes the nano-boosted Malthael, completely isolated from the rest of the team. Nick jumping out, still alive. Kelvin with the heals. Anna with the pew-pew-pew the entire time here. QuackNiix is moving in and gets the kill. Greybane, he wants more. He's hungry. The wolf is hungry. He wants his breakfast. And they get kill after kill. Team QuackNiix chasing down Johanna. They already took out half the rest of the team. Oh, yeah, so... that condemn nearly cost him his life. Over there again. He's doing it again. Dude, again, nobody believes you. Rexa is dead, and that is a solid setup. They actually go core. Alright, let's see. The new core mechanics. Top fort, by the way, is about to fall. Can they defend? Malthael is there, so is Jojo. Can they defend with the new core mechanics? There's the first wave. Here's the second wave. 12-second cooldown. 12-second cooldown on that thing. 19 seconds for Li Ming to come back. They're trying to buy time. They're buying time as we speak. Here's the ult. Again, they're moving on the other side. There's the lockdown attempt. Locked into place. Blast shield is out. And they're about to get wrecked. The core is down to 70%, guys. The core is at 70%. Catapults are there. Helping out too. Core at 40, core at 50. Li Ming. 20%. Where is the calamity value? There it is, but it is not enough. The 2-0 victory as Team QuackNiix sends Team Nick packing.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.